about Carnival Slayers, and Darren said me tell you that. Listen, we're big, small, tall, black, white, you name it, you're welcome. Carnival Slayers is the place to be, all right? Make sure you follow, like, subscribe. You can't go wrong.
For the latest hot source, news, gossip, or artist interviews, make sure that you subscribe to our Carnival Slayers YouTube channel. Then tell a friend to tell a friend.
Hello. Good evening, good night, or good afternoon, wherever you are locked in. This is Carnival Slayers Hot Sauce. And I think every session is extra hot, to be honest. So this is going to be another extra hot session. We are going to be discussing some topics, which I think kind of crops up every so often. If you don't know, I'm Hyperspice and I'm your host for today. We got some lovely ladies on. I am going to let everyone kind of introduce themselves. We'll start off with Double Trouble Twin Productions and then Remy, because they are residents at the moment. So, yeah, if you kind of just say a quick one, your names and when you started DJing, what you play, and then we'll go around. We'll go to DJ Roach next. Double Trouble?
So we are Double Trouble Twin Production. I am DJ Twinty, and I go by the name of Twin_DTTP. We've been actually DJing together for 7 years plus. It started off, just quickly, a rundown of DJ Twinty DJing by herself for over 10 years now. And I'd lost my voice, and I couldn't mic anymore for myself. And I was trying to signal to my sister to say, I need help. She then jumped on and helped, and someone actually caught it because we were back to back. And then, from there we progressed into Double Trouble Twin Production. And yeah, it's just blown up ever since. Everyone likes the hype that we have. Everyone likes the energy that we bring, and it's something that not a lot of kind of DJs, female DJs like that, are able to host and DJ. And there's only a few of us around, so it's nice to be a part of that scene.
Yeah, we play multi-genre sound, so from soca to dancehall, rare grooves to reggae, amapiano to funky, and even roller disco events we're starting to do now. So disco music, funk, a whole range. Whatever you guys want, we can offer.
Nice, we like that. And DJ Remedy.
Good evening, everyone. DJ Remedy. I've been DJing for more than 10 years. I first got started when I booked a DJ for my 18th birthday party, and he never turned up, so I had to play the music myself. And I just got invested in some decks, started practicing, and then I got a little residency in Laverick Grove called the Caribbean Line many years ago. I don't know if everyone remembers. And then things just took off from there. Played internationally, locally, around the UK. Love for music started from my family, as they were in a sound system. So back when I was baby, I was, as you could say, in the sound system mix. And I mainly DJ. Well, I started DJing with garage and then bashment, and then I was like, there's no soca female DJs, so I got into soca. But I do play everything. But I love my soca. Love soca.
Cool, nice. We like that. DJ Roach and then Lo.
Hi everyone. My name's Dr. Roach. And I started DJing. Well, I learned when I was like 14. I learned with vinyls and was very much into garage and house music back then. My brother was a DJ. Well, he still is. And he used to play jungle. So he kind of got me into it. But then I didn't play for probably like 10, 15 years. And then I kind of missed the whole CDJ era. and then came back when it went all digital. And so I think now I've been DJing about 3 years. And initially it was like house, garage. Then I moved into R&B. But I've always loved soca since I've been young. We always grew up around soca. So I want to say probably about 2 years ago, I decided that I would stick to kind of the soca route. I still play everything else, but soca is like my top genre. And then, yeah, a bit of dancehall. At the moment, I am a DJ for UCOM Carnival band. So this is going to be my first carnival this year, so I'm quite excited. And outside of that, just do lots of different events, private parties. And yeah, that's about me.
Nice.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Lo, or Lo London, and I've been DJing for less than a year. I started last summer, and I kind of started in like hip hop, R&B kind of scene. I was working with Diverse Nights to begin with, just warm up DJ, and I jumped into soca in like September for the soca drive-in, and since then I kind of just stayed within soca. I've always been in the soca scene. It's just that no one really knew me. It wasn't a business thing. I just used to go out a lot. I've been in the soca scene for like over 15 years, so it just felt right to kind of settle back within like that community of what I know. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I've kind of stuck there for a while, but I still do other genres. I do basically everything urban. I'm doing Master J's Friday night events in Catford on Friday. So yeah, I'm dabbling with other genres, but it's like 80% soca at the moment.
Cool. Love it. So yeah, who wants to go first? Dimps, Laws?
Laws, you got this. Sorry.
Hi everyone, I'm Laws, one half of Dimps and Laws. Dimps is trying to be shy, wherever she is, somewhere there. We've been DJing for, I'm gonna say 4 years-ish or so, but we've known each other 20 years plus, went secondary school. So always love music, been ravers, and kind of just, Dimps jumped on it first, said, oh yeah, I'm gonna learn how to DJ. And then she's like, Laws, jump on it, you're gonna love it. And then the rest is kind of history, to be honest with you. Started on radio, was on Top. And then from there, to be honest with you, just kind of started to get bookings. I don't even know how it happened. Kind of just felt like it happened overnight. You know, done a few international bookings, done Portugal, been to Spain, just a few other places. And then, yeah, it's just kind of taken off from there. I think kind of like DTP. We're 2 female DJs. We both DJ, we both host. So, you know, I think just seeing our vibe, seeing our energy, it's kind of, yeah, taking off. Because like I said, there's not many of us out here that can do both, or that does do both. So I think that's about it. Dimps, do you want to add anything else?
Multi-genre?
Multi-genre, yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I do everything. I feel like dancehall's in our blood. But we are definitely multi-genre DJs, like from literally R&B, hip hop, dancehall, house. I mean, can't say we bang the soca, but if needs be, we'll play soca if we need to. Dimps.
Yeah, that's it. It's amazing.
Appreciate it.
Ooh, no, I like that. It's good to hear. It's good to hear everyone's kind of story where they started. I didn't actually expect where everyone started from, to be honest. So yeah, it's good. So we're gonna get into the convo. A few months ago, a very well-known soca promotion, they put up a post with regards to DJs turning up at kind of like whatever time, more or less kind of like just before their set, and then, you know, plugging in and then basically playing the same kind of set as the last DJ, or a lot of the same tunes as the last DJ. So it's kind of a question of who is kind of responsible for keeping the audience happy? Or as Naomi put up a post earlier, who's responsible for making the Bampsies keep rolling 360? Is it the promoters? It's their job to make sure they hire the right DJs, or is it the DJs that need to make sure their set is on point, or is it a bit of both? Is it a mixture? Is it, you know, there's a lot of complaints about DJs coming on and, you know, just repeating, not hearing what's happening for the night, repeating the same songs. Or is it a bit of some of audience participation? You know, the audience are also kind of complaining, but then yet they'll still buy tickets and attend these raves. So, you know, who's kind of responsible? Where does it yeah. Let's start with we'll start with Remy. We'll start with one of the veterans. Remy, how what do you think?
Well, I mean, personally, I think it's a bit of both. In the sense of the promoters, they must know what the DJ plays, how the DJ plays, how they interact with the crowd, etc. So you're not going to put 5 hype DJs on in your fet if you want to have a groovy soca fet, if that makes sense. So you know what kind of music the DJs plays, so you'll know which order to put them in, how you're going to put them in your fet. Now, on the contrary, with DJs, I find that it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If I know these 4 songs are going to mash up the fet, I'm going to play these 4 songs wherever I go. I don't care, as long as the crowd is moving. But there's so many other songs that can get played that could still mash up a fet the same way. But again, if you're going to keep playing those 4 songs and get the same reaction, then why are you going to change that setup? So I think it's a bit of both. It has to do with the promoters as well. If we keep seeing the same old DJs, come on, you must expect you're going to get the same old results. Sometimes you need to switch it up a bit and, you know, put different DJs in there to see what they can play. And obviously, if you're in there as a different DJ, you should mix it up and, you know, change up the ting and make people know that there's more than the top, what was it called, the top 10?
Yeah.
The top 10 songs that will just mash up a fit. Big up Stan, man, one time, the more than 4, as we used to say on largeradio.com. There's more than 4 songs, there's more than 4 islands that have soca musics. And they mash up the place, but DJs don't really play them because you play it and it's like, yeah, people didn't really dance to that, you know. I want to get a next booking, so I'm just going to keep playing my same 4 tunes that people know, people jump up to, and get the response that they want. I swear, I'm just reading all the comments. People are like, I got my popcorn ready. I feel like I've been put under pressure. So everyone just wanted to see what I'm going to say. I'm giving the very reserved response because, that's all I'm going to say for now. But yeah, it's 50-50 on that one.
I hear that. I think you said some valid points in there, definitely. And as you said, some people said they got the popcorn on. I need to say big up Black Stars locked on, Digger, DJ Francis, John 40. They're ready. Someone's bigging up more than 4. There's definitely more than 4 islands to play. So I hear that. DJ Amani, no pressure. Good evening, DJ Amani. All right, so you know what? Let's go to Roach next. As she's quite new on the scene. What do you think, Roach?
So I definitely agree with what Remy D said. Like, it is to do with both. I think the promoters have a role in, you know, getting the right DJs, as she said, and also kind of, if someone hasn't been to your event before, then I think as a promoter you can kind of tell them what the vibe is like, so they know, you know, how it's going to roll into like the next DJ. Also, as you said, getting there early and hearing other DJ sets, I know obviously everyone has responsibilities, but if you can't get there early, like for example, a booking I had recently, there were a few soca DJs on the lineup, and one of them came to me and said, because I played before them, they were like, what did you play in your set? Like, and they asked to see my laptop so that they wouldn't repeat the song. So I actually thought that was quite a good idea, because obviously if you get there late, you don't know what's been played already. So yeah, in order to get that insight. And I think as a DJ, just like for me, I tend to play like older music, because there's like so many bangers out there, so many songs that people are going to want to dance to. And there's no point in me coming on playing the same songs that I know another DJ is going to play. So I will still play bangers, but I'll play like old bangers that people will remember and be like, oh yeah, I haven't heard this in time. And I think that kind of keeps the sets fresh. So yeah, I think it is to do with both of them, but DJs definitely have a role, and interacting with the crowd and, you know, making sure that they're feeling the music that you're playing is quite important. So yeah, I think it's a bit of both.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm agreeing with a lot of what you're saying. Double Trouble Twin Productions. What are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, it is down to the promoter and how they pick their DJs, but it's also down to yourself and knowing if you're going to a soca rave and it's all literally soca DJs, and the promoter hasn't put maybe years or sections, whatever, on the case, then yeah, you do have to speak to, because at the end of the day, at that point, you guys are like peers in a way. So you're not gonna want to hear the same thing, even if you come up late for whatever circumstance. But I think if it's a mixed rave or like a multi-genre rave, then at the end of the day, it shouldn't be where if I've played dancehall and then Dips and Laws have played dancehall and then Dr. Roach has played dancehall, it doesn't make sense, because they're here. When it says it's got soca, dancehall, this, that, and many more, they're expecting to probably hear all of those, if not more. So I really think it really depends on, you know, both sides in both arguments. It is the case of that, and it really depends on the communication, as communication is key. So if you go there not knowing anything at all, and you can only go off the last DJ, then at least by minimum don't play what they played at all. If everyone is supposed to be this multi-zona DJ that they proclaim to be, because everyone starts writing it, then you've got to step up to that. And if you can't do that, then at least try and range yourself out of what the top 10 has been played.
And also think of yourself as a fetter. Everyone's been a fetter, everyone's been a raver, everyone's, you know, gone out. So would you like to hear the same hour set that you just heard? The answer is no. I don't know anybody that would like to do that. So the same time you have a mix in your car, same time you have a mix when you're washing up, cleaning, you'd want that different kind of vibe, especially if you paid government money to go out or petrol to drive, even if it's a fet or a free dance. So we think of it from the outside person in, as a promoter of an event. You should think of an outside person coming in. They're respectfully putting their time in your space. They don't have to do that. So I think it's just respect of everyone, really. And if you have that respect, then you know what is given is earned. So.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, do you think the promoters do you think the promoters and DJs kind of like take this stuff in?
I think in the beginning they do, because they're learning, but it really depends on how their crowd is, what their response they get from customers, who else's events on the same day. There's a lot of factors that you would have to put into place to answer that one question, because as a promoter yourself, you're trying to do the best that you can to, in the business side of it, not even as a DJ side per se, is to make sure you break even, and then you have that clientele of longevity and you know, communication of pushing your event higher and further. In the DJing side of it now, you're kind of looking at some DJs look at how many bills I can go on. Some DJs will go on what bridging I can jam with because I like the vibe, and some may actually genuinely do it, which they should be doing for the clients and the customers. So it really depends on where people's headspace are and how long they've been in the game and who they know.
Yeah, there is a lot of factors. There is a lot of factors. But at the same, I mean, do the crowd have a part to play? Because there's a lot of people that will be in the rave, for, you know, they've seen quite a few DJs, and they'll hear a song, and then they'll hear a song later on again, but they're still giving the same big reaction, and which the DJs are feeding off. So, is there? I feel like there's certain people that will call certain things out, but then is there hypocrisy because people are still going out there, they're still jamming to the same repeated songs, or they're still giving that great reaction. So it's hard for like the promoters to gauge. It's hard for the DJs to gauge. But then obviously at the same time, you're a DJ, so you need to learn how to be different. You need to learn how to switch up. Lo, what do you think?
I think I'm going to agree with what everyone was saying. It's true. It's going to be a bit of both. I'm so new in the game. I kind of go raving and I still see it from the consumer's point of view, not even from a business point of view. So as a DJ, I kind of play what I would want to hear at the time as a raver. I'm not even really looking at it as business. So I don't know. I think when you've been in the game for a long time, you kind of just do what works. It's like a blueprint. If you know these 5 DJs always bring like the energy or whatever the crowd needs, you're always going to book those 5 DJs, and it's hard for them to think, oh, let me take a risk and book someone new. And, luckily along my way, I've had some risk takers where they're like, look, just do warm up. Let's see how you go or whatever. And that's worked for me in my favor. But yeah, I mean, in events, you kind of just want a blueprint of what works, isn't it? So if you know that those certain people always bring it, then you're going to always want to have them at your event. Like, I get it, but at the same time, they're always going to play how they play because everyone has their own style. So they're not going to be able to switch it up. Sometimes you want like something fresh and they might not be able to bring that. So, and it's true what DJ Dr. Roach was saying. They don't play old school that much and things like that because the crowd sometimes is quite young. They're not going to know the songs. They try and stay like, 2018 and above. And that's what people know. But at the same time, I'm in my 30s and there's still loads of people like me that go out and want to hear the old school bangers. Do you know what I mean? Like when I hear like Dr. Cassandra and all those kind of soca songs, I'm like, yes, that DJ gets ratings because normally DJs won't play this stuff, especially at a peak time in the rave. So I think it just depends on the crowd. It's a bit of everything. It's like cogs in a wheel, and it's like everything plays its part to make the event great.
Yeah. Do you think it's kind of harder because obviously times always change, and right now, we're kind of just seeing a new generation of younger ones coming through, and the younger ones obviously probably, won't know the old school stuff as much. They kind of want to hear all the hype stuff. Do you think it's hard? Do you think it's hard on the DJs to kind of be able to switch it up sometimes?
Yeah, it's a risk. I mean, you got to assess the crowd, I suppose, when you get there. I mean, I try and get there at least like half an hour before my set so I can kind of gauge the crowd, understand what that last DJ was playing so I don't obviously play the same kind of music or whatever. But yeah, you just got to read the crowd and take a risk. Sometimes you just got to throw in something old. And if the crowd gauges, then you keep on that track. And if not, then you just fling back into something new. Do you know what I mean? So it's just about risk taking. And I think because I'm new, I can kind of do that because I don't have the rep yet. So I can kind of throw stuff in and it's like sink or swim in it. It's like you just don't know how it's going to go. But I think when you're new, you kind of just take those risks because it's like all or nothing at that point. Do you know what I mean? You don't have a rep. So it's like, just do whatever. I'm kind of at that stage, but I'm not sure how, like in a few years' time, I don't know if I'll have the same opinion. I might be set in my ways. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Why I kind of say like about the consumer as well, as in the ravers. I remember back in the day when I used to rave at like mixed stuff, not even just soca. There was an event that I used to go to every Wednesday, and it was cool. Like, it was live, it was popping, you know, music was banging, and then obviously you're going every week, and then the DJs were, it was kind of like the same DJs every week, but they were just playing the same. They were playing the same set.
Mm.
They were talking the same stuff on the mic, like every week, and the way the guy was talking on the mic, the same stuff every week. It was like he didn't even realize, he didn't even know that he had said that the week before and the week before. It was like it was new every single time. He was so hyping himself and repeating the same things, the same tunes. And then after a point, I said to myself, what's going on here? Because I'm coming here every week and I'm hearing the same, you know, playing the songs in the same order, saying the same stuff on the mic. And I was just like, you know what? I was just getting vexed. And every week I was just getting vexed and frustrated, because I was like, well, why am I paying my money to come? I can just listen to this in my house. So at one point I said to myself, well, you know what? I'm done. So I was making my own stand. Not that it was going to really make much of a difference, but, you know, other people were kind of still loving the tune. But I said to myself, you're supposed to go out and not be vexed. You know, you're supposed to be enjoying yourself. And this wasn't a soca event at all. So, you know, does this kind of cross over into the other scenes? Because obviously I follow other DJs that are not on the soca scene, and I don't really see this kind of conversation come up, you know, with other DJs. I feel like it comes up a lot in the soca scene, but yeah, I don't know. Dimps and Laws, does this kind of come up, you know, at the events that you guys play at?
Hey,
Who's gonna talk?
Don't run, Dibs. That's cool. Do you know what? I think just listening to you guys, and obviously I know a lot of you are soca DJs. I think it's different when you've got an event that is purely one genre, because obviously soca's been going on for years, but there's always going to be that DJ that wants to play the bangers. So I think it was, I can't remember who it was, saying about the biggest 4 tracks or whatever. Like, there's always going to be that DJ. But I think when you have multi-genre events, it's a little bit different. And I think I speak as not a promoter, but like, we put on events. And when we think about our lineup, we think about, okay, like, we think about our DJs, what they can play, and we will generally let them know. But essentially, it's all about reading the crowd. You have to read the crowd. Even if we say to a DJ, oh, play dancehall, and it's not a dancehall, if you're playing it and the crowd are not reacting, switch it up. I shouldn't then have to come and tell you, do you know what, this is not working, switch it up. And same when we're DJs, if a promoter says to us, right, we want you to play garage, for example, old school garage, we start playing old school garage and nothing is happening to the crowd, we're going to switch it up. Because ultimately, yes, we're repping for your event, but this is our brand, this is our name. We don't want people to be like, oh, Dips and Laws, they're dead, they can't play this. We was in the Raven, they were playing XYZ. Do you get what I mean? So I think it's down to both, but ultimately you got to read the crowd. You kind of got to know what time you're playing. Say, for example, if you're doing warm up, for example, you could play bangers because they could get played again because maybe no one might not be there. But you just got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in yourself and know that you know what you're doing, because ultimately you've been booked for a reason as a DJ. So I think it's down to, generally, I think more relies on the DJ, because the promoter can tell us what to play and we can justify if we switch it up, because we will say, look, the crowd wasn't reacting, hence why we did this. So that's kind of my opinion. I think it's more leaning on the DJ personally.
Yeah.
Dimps?
Yeah, no, I very much agree. I think
DJ now is a lot easier than what it was. So I think, if anything, reading the crowd, getting that actual crowd experience is probably the integral part, because everyone can, not everyone, but yeah, everyone can mix. But it's like, okay, what are you playing? What's your interaction like? So yeah, we've had experiences on both ends where it's like, as Law said, we've had our own events and we book DJs. So we normally give them a guideline. That's what is a guideline, but read the crowd. That's your job. And then vice versa. We've had promoters tell us play this and it's not working out. So yeah, I think just to reiterate what everyone said, I very much agree. I don't think it's a bit, I don't even say it's 50-50, to be honest with you. I would say it's more the DJ, and the promoter should just have like give out guidelines. But yeah, sometimes it's gonna repeat, sometimes not. So you're gonna repeat tracks. Sometimes it is what it is. Sometimes you can't get to a booking. Like we get to bookings and we've got like 10 minutes, and so we'll have to say, what do you want us to play? What's been played, and kind of gauge it from there. Really.
Yeah. Do you guys have like ravers, or the people that attend? Do you have any like people complain or mention about certain DJs repeating, or
is this a safe space? Again?
No, I'm not saying that. No, you don't have to name names, but like
do you know what?
Do you get like on a whole? Do ravers actually give you feedback?
They haven't give us feedback on the event or something,
or the DJs or the.
Oh, our last event, we got really good feedback from music. Feedback of DJs, no, but there's been occasions because, say, for example, in a night, sometimes you might be on same lineup as another DJ at two different events. So there's been times, legit, I've heard the DJ play the same set he just played at the last event we just came from. I'm like, bro, I know you see you. I know you heard you saw me play that. But hey, I mean, whatever happens, isn't it?
Yeah,
they're probably thinking it's not the same ravers, so they're not gonna know. But it's like, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You see me, right? Like,
yeah. No, I've blatantly had the same thing. There was one time, but it was a soca thing, and the DJ was banging. He was at one event, and I know he was playing at the next event, so I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm going. And I got there, and he played the same set. And the thing is, I didn't drive. I traveled on the bus or train or whatever, and I got there, and he played the same set, and I was like,
it's actually upsetting. Certain times we actually enjoy playing something different. Certain times it's like, yeah, let's do warm up. Let's play stuff in a crate that we ain't been able to touch. Because when you're doing the prime time, it's like, okay, yeah, you can play the bangers, cool. But we got into it for the love of music. So I want to explore. I want to be challenged. I want to go for my crate and create something else. I want to play a banger and mix it in with a mad instrumental from way back that you lot are gonna go mad. Stuff like that. You've got to keep it different.
Yeah.
I think people get lazy. Crates make people lazy. Because once you get in, there's nothing else but that's it, unless you're gonna move around, unless you're gonna do homework, unless you're gonna put in the vibes and appreciate an artist, their craft, even producers. People very much stick in that crate, and if they've only got 20 songs in that crate, then however they try and mix it, that 20 songs are going to be played. So it really comes down to your craft. It really comes down to how much time are you putting in to your work. And some people see it as work, and that's why they become lazy. And other people see it as a cultured, aspect to what they're doing and they're bringing into life. So, and I also think it's about the experience. So if you've only had the chance to play A to B, and then no one's going to hear it, no one's going to moan, that's different. But for example, like Twin, when she does carnivals back to back to back, so you've had one Friday, one Saturday, one Sunday, you can't do that. Even if it is soca and we've only played soca, and all she has to do is play soca, she will always mix it up. And we have the same 3 carnivals back to back every year, and we'll be doing it. She's been what, 7 years, 8 years? Because we will be cussing on the road. Rain, sun, or shine, we have to be out there in costume. So rain, sun, or shine, Twin has to play. And like I said, it's the one genre by herself, and I add as well, for 3 to 5 hours minimum of the one genre. So it can be done.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I do think personally it is both. I think the promoters you know, you need to obviously know your DJs. You need to kind of, you need to have an idea of if they can handle the crowd, if they can handle the set time you want to give them. But at the same time, you know, one reason why I started DJing is because I was a bit frustrated, like when I was going out as a raver, and you know, the DJs were kind of playing the same songs, the same kind of few islands, and I was like, you know, there's more. And the thing is, even though like Dim's laws said that it's just obviously one genre, there's still so much islands and so much music that comes out. You know, you can easily, like, we have soca raves where you don't hit, you know, there's soca that's played and that's not always repeated, but obviously there's certain places where it's not the case. But that was one reason why I wanted to become a DJ, because I was like, I feel like I kind of, you know, I wanna educate. There's certain songs that, you know, just don't get played, and I was that kind of DJ in the beginning where I was like, oh, I may not be, you know, the biggest or the hypest, but I was kind of like that educator DJ. I want to play these songs that, you know, that's forgotten or that doesn't get played anymore. But then over the time, you kind of, you know, you strike a balance. You can't just always be the educator. You have to, you have to switch up. You have to play what people want to hear. You have to play the bangers. So, you know, you kind of learn, but at the same time, yeah, there probably are. I feel like there are DJs that still just want to play like the top 10. Um, you know, the bangers. They want to get the forwards. They want to get the hype.
It's also a bit of a clout thing as well. There's a lot of clout chasers, and I think you need to throw that in there. Like, it's not necessarily. I think one of the twins said the craftsmanship. It's just clout. They just want the clout. They want to press the play and stuff like that. So that plays a part.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. Um, so I mean, most of these events, like most events, will have, you know, it's still a male dominated industry, and you know, most events, if you're gonna book a female DJ, they'll probably have like one DJ, one female DJ, and the rest male DJs. There, I played at Strawberries and Cream last year, Strawberries and Cream Festival, and they had, I mean, there was like so many artists, so many DJs on the bill, and they literally had like half half. There was 50 females, or well, for example, 50 females, artists and DJs, and the same males. And you know, Strawberries and Cream is a massive event. There's another promotion that I play for, Just Vibes, that they actually have, you know, they will on more than one occasion put more than one female on the bill. Do you think that, you know, promoters should maybe not necessarily just change it up with all the male DJs, but maybe just add some diversity, add more than one female on the bill, and see, you know, see if that makes a difference? I mean, some people I have heard just from talk, some promoters have said that female DJs, they don't book that many, or they don't really book them that much because they can't, they don't bring the hype, or they don't bring the vibe like the male DJs. Do you think that do you think that's there's some element of truth in there? Do you think no? Do you think they should just take that plunge, like mix it up 50-50, see what happens? You never know. It might just be a banging event. Roach?
Yeah, I think like if you're a good DJ, you're a good DJ. It doesn't matter if you're male, female, black, white, like it's about the music, and being a man doesn't make you better just because you're a man. And I think also like I know a lot of men play for women. Like I've heard that that's how they get the rave hype and stuff like that. So as a woman, I feel like I know what I want to hear. So I'm gonna do that job. And yeah, I think getting people who are sort of newer to the scene involved in these events will open up, you know, new opportunities because they're gonna try and bring something different. They feel like they have something to prove, so they're gonna try and play a bit different so that they're remembered. They're like, oh yeah, that DJ, she played a bit different, but she was good, so I'm gonna bring her back next time. So yeah, I think they should definitely bring in a lot more female DJs. Strawberries and Cream is what I'm playing this year, so I'm quite excited about that. But I think it's the same as well. Like this year, they've got 50-50 and an all-female stage. Yeah, I think it's just about opportunity, and it shouldn't be I'm going to book them because they're a female DJ. It should be I'm going to book them because they're good or they know what they're doing. So
yeah,
I think.
But then, do you think because they're a bit, you know, they might be scared to book that, like they don't know, you know, if they're good or not, so they're just like, well, yeah, again, they just, you know, book what they know, kind of thing.
Yeah, but I guess as a promoter, like you should do your research with who you're booking. I know like people stick to the same people, but that's when you're going to get the same sets at every event that you have. So even if there's one spot or two spots where you say, do you know what, I'm going to keep the main set and keep that main DJ, but I'm going to try and bring other DJs in and see how it switches up the event. And just give people an opportunity. Like obviously everybody has to start from somewhere. Those same male DJs started from somewhere and someone gave them an opportunity. So yeah, I think they just need to open the doors a bit more and let others in.
Cool. Remy?
Well, I mean, yes, they do need to give females more of a chance. I mean, I don't know if you guys may not remember, or I don't know, maybe. Sorry, back in the day, there was a all-female event called Soca Vixens. And it was a strictly all females, from the promotion down to the DJs, down to the people on the mic. Everything was just females. It was a good night, but again, it kind of fizzled out and stuff. But we need more of these all females. I mean, if the men aren't going to let us, you know, play in their events, why can't we have our own? What's stopping us from doing that? I mean, I'm looking to want to get into the promotion side of things as well as the DJing side, so I can start to throw my own. Because if you know you're not going to let me play at your events, then I'll have to start making my own and doing that. And there's enough times when I go out, I see all these people, especially some promoters. Oh, Remy D, yeah, you still DJing? Yeah. Oh, nice. And then they walk off. It's like, well, hold on a minute. What's the relevance of asking me that? You're just gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah, good to know. Yeah, I think I remember you if I have an event coming up or something. So, yeah, the male DJ, no, the male promoters need to let the females in a bit more, because we could add that little bit of je ne sais quoi that the men can't. You know what I mean?
I hear that. I totally, mate.
Variety is the spice of life. Yes.
Listen, I'm all about spicing it up. I am. Lo, I know you're still new. Have you got anything to add to that?
Do you know what? I'm still learning to do mic stuff myself. So, because it's hard to be that aggressive. You got to keep up with the energy. It's hard. I find it hard as a female to be that aggressor. I find DJing, just like playing the music and actually DJing without the mic, is quite easy. I think women are actually, I'm going to say something controversial. I find that women are probably better DJs just because we are more emotionally inclined to what the crowd want. We're aesthetic.
Yeah.
Men are more in their ego. They're ego driven. They're quite aggressive with each other. They're competing against the other male DJs. I think women, we just go, boom, we're going to do a job. We're going to make the crowd happy. And that's like our thing. Men on the mic, I find they are more commanding because men have that dominance. So as a female DJ, I would rather a male mic man just because I can see that they've got that. Do you know what I mean? But it doesn't necessarily mean that a female can't do it because, you know, we're all here. We all do the mic sometimes. So it works. But personally, I think that males on the mic, they've got that aggression. But females on the deck, I think they've got that empathy. So it's like a nice balance between the two. But we can do either job. Do you know what I mean? Either genre can do, either gender can do.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Nai, do you want to like come in and say a little something there? I'm pretty sure you got some little comments to say.
Me never. Hello everyone. Firstly, I'm just here as supportive big sis to Hyper. So that's why I'm here. This is why I've been quiet and doing things in the background. My thing is, if we expect to see a change, whether it's, I'm going to speak on soca because obviously that's the main genre that I listen to and go to parties and everything. If we expect to see a change, we need to be the change. So there's no point being a promoter and complaining about the way DJs play at parties if you're going to still continue booking those same DJs and you're not going to try other DJs that are perhaps not as booked, or you're going to still carry on with the tokenism of female DJs where you're going to have one female DJ on the bill and they always have them right at the beginning of the party. If we're not going to make these adjustments and changes, then we're just going to continue as is. And therefore, there will be no changes at all. And people continue still complaining about the same thing. Like I've seen obviously changes over the years where some DJs, obviously male, they have such a dominance in the scene and their sets are predictable. So, for example, you could have just gone to the bar or gone to the toilet and there's a changeover of DJs and then you come in the dance and everything and you think, okay, I could predict who's playing, or I could tell you who's playing just because of how the set sounds. And I could then tell you what song they're going to play next.
Yeah, and it really should not be like that.
Nah, it shouldn't be like that. I want a DJ to surprise me. I want a DJ to take me back to, I don't know, it could be, as a good example I would use is when I went to an event back in, when was it? November last year, a boat party. In fact, it was a mingle boat party. And I can't remember who the DJ was on the bill, but it's someone that doesn't get booked a lot. That much I do know. And that DJ just took it to a different level. It was like, for me, it felt like I was on holiday in Grenada on the Rum Runner. Like he just took it to that level. He took it to that place. And it was just it was really a nice organic surprise. And I must say, like, it was quite funny because the following day, a few people was like, hey, I never see you dance so much in that, you know, blah, blah, blah. I was cracking up because I was like, yeah, man, that was mass. You know what I mean? That was mass. You know, that set just was, it was proper. It was just nice, you know? And it's those moments that I wish I had more of at a party, like real enjoyment, dancing, like, you know what I mean? Like sweating. Like back in the day, I remember, you know, even like when I used to go like certain parties at Twice as Nice, you know, those old school garage raves and stuff, yeah. I will always literally come out of those parties sweating, you know what I mean? Your foot mash up, your clothes are soaking wet. It's like, I don't party like that anymore.
Yeah.
Like I'm happy to do that. I mean, okay, I don't want to be too sweaty, but I want to go back to that. You know, I want to go back to those days. And yeah, it was real enjoyment, you know, like I just miss those days. But for me, my thing is, if we want to see changes, we need to be the change. And I feel like it kind of has to start from the promoters, who they book, how they book. And I probably do feel that maybe if you're gonna have 8 DJs on the bill, rather than have the one female and the other 7 are male, have half and half. Pave the way.
Yeah, no, totally. I've listen. You gotta try stuff to know if it's gonna work. And you know, as I have started my brand, Spice Up Your Life. The spice is the variety of life. I mean, why stick to one thing where you can switch it up and have a variety? That's kind of my thing. So that kind of leads on to my next discussion with regards to can you be a DJ and be like a proper raver at the same time? But before we go on to that, obviously there's loads of people that's tuning in. Black Star, Annie, Bigger's bigging up the female DJs. Black Star saying that it happens at certain other non-Soca events with regards to repeating. DJ Armani, he's saying, you need to know your crates, you need to know your tunes. Beiji's locked on. Good evening, Beiji. I didn't miss your comment there. Triple M is there. What's he saying? What are the college DJ? What's the quality DJs? Is it there? Male or female? Triple M says, but what if the quality DJs are not there, male or female? So that's a bit of a hard one. But yeah, there is loads of people locked on. So you know what? Good evening to everyone that's locked on. This is Carnival Slayers Hot Sauce, and I'm hosting today. I'm Hyperspice. We have Drinks and Laws duo. We got Low London. We got Dr. Roach. We got DJ Remy D. We got Double Trouble Twin Productions. We're just going through some discussion right now. It's nice. It's nice. We're liking this discussion. We're gonna move on to the next topic. So yeah, there's kind of like two aspects of this one. As a DJ or promoter, like, do you, as a DJ, do you go to other events if you're not playing, or yeah, if you're not doing a set, do you still attend? And if you do attend and you're not playing, like, have you switched off as a DJ? Are you like a full raver? Like, can you actually party hard? Can you kind of get your drink on or whatever? I mean, I know it was my well, not obviously I know it was my birthday recently, and I did do a set, but I said to myself, I'm only doing one set because I know that there's going to be some party time and there's going to be some drinking. So there's going to be a time where I'm switching off as a DJ and I'm partying. I know, was it Dimps? You had your birthday recently as well, was it? No? Or was it Laws?
Mine's coming up. Laws was last year, September.
Oh, okay. Why did I think? Okay, cool.
Now my party's on Friday coming.
Oh, for your birthday?
Mm.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, like, do you think, and even like putting in the promoters in there, do you think that the promoters, obviously, do you think that they need to attend other events, not just their events? Do you feel like the DJs, if they're not playing a set, do you feel like they still need to go to other events to kind of hear how the other DJs are playing? As a DJ, do you party it up? Do you rave it up? Or do you kind of feel like you kind of have to have a bit of a bit more reserved, obviously, because you've got that kind of status and, you don't want to jeopardize anything? I'm going to start with Dimps on this one.
Because I'm a raver.
No, just
No, I'm joking. Don't worry. I mean, yeah, I think as with any business, it's about networking as well. So I think going to an event, making yourself be seen. There's me and Laws, Laws and I, um, we are very busy, but if we have periods in which we aren't busy and we're available, we always make sure we support other people's events. Always make sure that we are just present. It's so easy to be missed out. You have to just stay relevant in any way. Not anyway. That's not mad.
no.
No, I'm not trying to get
what you
quoted on
mean.
that. I'm not
We
trying to
know
get
what you
quoted.
mean.
But yeah, you have to stay relevant. And we've got multiple bookings through networking where they've kind of heard of us, they haven't met us, then they might meet us at events, or we might say, yeah, we're gonna come to your event, and then we just get on, because at the end of the day it's a working relationship. Yeah, we do have to be a good DJ, but it's also like the DJs we book on our events, we get along with them. You need to be able to trust each other. You need to have communication. Communication is so key.
Yeah.
So I think that plays a big part as well. Anyone that knows me, I'm a raver. Like, I'm always raving. So I'm not something to be proud of, because I think I'm a bit of an alcoholic. But yeah, I think it's important. Like, I can take multiple bookings we've got from just going to events, talking to people, or there's a DJ there that they know, then they introduce us to the promoter, vice versa. Promoters coming to events we're playing at, then they're like, we want to book you for our event. So I think it's very, very important. And about switching off, I do switch off to a certain extent, but you know, when you hear certain things sometimes, yeah, I wish I didn't hear. You know, the DJing is sometimes I wish I could switch off.
Yeah. Nah,
I'll be like, then I'm like, whoa, what was that? I'm like, but everyone else is still raving. So I'm like, oh man, like, you kind of killed my vibe, threw me off there, but I'm gonna get back into it.
I feel like that's as a DJ, you can never switch off totally, ever. Because once you're there, you hear certain things, or you know certain things that just the normal raver won't really pick up. So yeah, they're probably kind of still raving, and you pick up certain things and you're like, whoa. And then you think to yourself, why are these guys still enjoying that? But they're there, you know,
But even just for the love of music, like if you go into an event and I see a lineup, I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be lit. But also, I think I was saying sometimes you can predict a set a bit in certain situations. But aside from that, yeah, definitely, I think it's very important to network and stay relevant.
No, definitely, for sure. Laws, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, no, to be honest, just reiterate what Dimp says. I think it's, for us, I think it's all about kind of just supporting other DJs. Like, for example, when we have events, like, we never charge DJs, because it's just like, come and enjoy our event, come and support. And saying, not that we expect it back, but it's just like, we generally go out to support. So if it's someone that we've made friends with or we communicated with, we're like, you know, you're having an event, let us come and support. And I think that's really important. And just like Dim said, I think networking is key. Like, we've literally met so many people, got so many bookings just through networking, just through, staying present, introducing ourselves. Because in the beginning, nobody knew us. Like, people probably saw us like, right, you've been to our raves, because we've been raving from when we shouldn't even been raving.
Yeah.
So it's just like.
But do you think that's helped, or do you think that's been important? Because with me, I was raving for years before I started DJing. I started DJing late. I was like 25. And so obviously when I started, people were like, they were shocked, but they knew who I was. So I feel like it kind of helped, because people know that you're like, you know your music because you've been raving for that long.
Yeah, no, definitely, I agree. I think probably more Dimpson, because no, joking. No, to be fair, if you see Dimps, you see me, like, or if you see me, you see her. So it's we're both kind of about. But I think that's definitely helped. And you know what? I feel like being a raver and then becoming a DJ, you know what a good rave is. Do you know what I mean? You know how to you think, yeah, do you know what, that DJ done well. He or she really entertained the crowd. So I think it definitely helps. And again, as a DJ, it's good to just go and hear other sets. It's not that you want to emulate someone, but even like for me, when I was just like not even learning to host, but just getting confident with hosting, I was like, you know, let me go listen to certain other hosts and just see how they command the crowd. And I think things like that is really, really important. So not even just to rave, essentially, just going out, hearing how DJs make, oh, do you know what? That kind of worked. Or you might even look and think, oh, yeah, that DJ's clanging. And like Dim said, with the switching off, you've always got that DJ ear. It's funny, we'd be raving and we'll just look at each other and be like,
I mean, I'm pretty sure certain times, like, you know, there might be like a few DJs in like, you know, one little section or whatever. And obviously a DJ is playing and that makes it. And the thing is, we don't all have banging sets. There's obviously always certain times where we, you know, we're off, but it's easier to hear it when you're not playing. So you'll hear it, and then certain times, you blatantly, everyone like you just look at each other, and you just know what the deal is. But you know, that's it. Yeah, that's the DJ ear. I think, you know, I do think it's important. I feel like you can't necessarily expect people to, you know, always buy into your events or you if you're never seen. Because people want to see you. People kind of like want to know how you are. You know, if there's new events.
It's a good question, actually, that Black Sardis wrote.
Yeah. Well, so as a DJ, that was so quick. Can you put that back up now, or is it gone? So as a DJ, when you're playing, you notice a group of DJs together, you feel small. That's very true. Certain times when you're playing and you see, not even like, you know, they might not be all together, but they might be scattered or whatever. You definitely do feel that sort of like, okay, I need to be on my game now, like, you know. And sometimes it's great, you're on your game, it's banging. But then other times, if you have like a couple of off mixes and obviously you got the DJs there, you know, it can be a little bit intimidating, or it can be a little bit like, but you know what, certain times you just got to do your thing and not worry about who's in the crowd, because not everyone has a great set. Certain times people make mistakes, and it happens to all of us. But double trouble twin productions. What are you saying on that?
Off the back of that, I've actually walked into a fet or a rave, and the person or the DJ or the MC, they look at me or twin and we're like, oh, like they messed up, but we didn't even realize, or we weren't listening out for it. We literally just walked in at that specific time, and they're like, oh, and I'm thinking, Ray, you just keep pushing your craft, keep doing. So I said, I'm not a DJ. I said, I jumped on the MC scene.
Can you DJ?
No, I'm not. I don't want to.
Okay.
DJ. It's never been my thing to do. As I said, the mistake, if people want to call it, is me being MCing. It's twin lost her voice, like she said. We went back to back and we got caught, and we just pursued that ever since. Me being an MC, I've always had the ear for music. So I have heard a couple of sets and been like, oh. But even people that I know, family members I'm close with, I'm like, whoa. At the same time, you don't just say whoa and leave it. Sometimes you help people improve. Do you know what I mean? You don't just sit there and be bad mind. But yeah, I do go out raving. I do enjoy people's sets. I even try to go to it. If I got a booking and they booked me, you know, in 2 weeks' time, and they got something this week, I even try and go there to support. To get here. Even the venue. Sometimes the venue's got to play a big part. So it's all got to do with what's going around, how you can improve. But it's one thing I've realized as well. Some DJs do go just because they're DJs. So yeah, I'm a DJ. Yeah, so I'm just gonna come to this rave and I'm just gonna get a book and like try and get a booking. I'm just gonna go in for free. That kind of stuff I don't do personally. But at the same time, if that's how you get your craft, I don't know. Like, me and him as well are twins. So sometimes they think they're seeing two people. Sometimes they think they're seeing one. So we've got a whole different ball game networking situation going on that can work either way for us. But again, maybe it's double the work, double the promotion. Who knows?
No, it is definitely important to go in and support. It's good. Some people don't. I've actually noticed nowadays that a lot of these young DJs actually get promoted just through their mixes alone. They don't even come out unless it's with their crew, and it's always a certain rave that I see them at. Um, but then they get booked because they're getting views on SoundCloud, TikTok, Instagram. So they've now even got a different craft on how they get booked. It's not necessarily you stepping out your house, getting ready, being there, being present, going up to the DJ booth, talking to the promoter. It could also be about, how much work you put in now, virtually because of this pandemic. So it all really depends, or past pandemic, thank God. So it all really depends on really what is out there, who the promoter really does want. Are they going to do their homework? Are they going to let other people do their homework? Is it about views? Is it about really the music? It all really comes down to, like, what do you want from the DJ, and then what crowd do you want also? Do you have your own crowd? Do you want them to bring crowd? So there's a lot of DJ that have just, like, picked up a controller that costs however much, pick up a laptop that costs however much and started playing. So that's another perspective that, it's changed the dynamics quite a bit, to be honest.
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, none of these things, to be honest, are ever just one or the other. There is a lot of factors in. Low, obviously, you're the newest, and obviously, you said before that you kind of see things more from the raver side. Are you still like a proper raver as well as?
Yeah, I go out the same amount as before, but it depends on how many sets I have. Because if I've got sets, then I don't really want to go out the next day just for fun. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather just rest.
Yeah.
But yeah, in between sets, I'm still going out. Like, I'm still going Jam Juve, Dreamland, One More Jam, like all of these things. I'm still gonna go. Nothing will stop me. Do you know what I mean? Carnival. If I don't play a carnival, I'm still there. 9 a.m. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm still very much like in that I want to have fun kind of mode. I mean, my daughter in my 20s, I kind of done what most people were doing in their 30s. So I was just kind of like working, being a mum, not really going out as much as now. So I feel like I'm almost compensating for what I missed out on. So it's like my 30s is now my time to like travel, do what I want, go out more, just like live life and just enjoy it while it's here. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at. And it affects my DJing because, like I said before, if I'm going out, if I'm seeing other DJs, I'm very like inspired, or I hear like, oh, that song goes really well. That song, I never thought to do that. Yeah. It gives me loads of ideas. So as a DJ, it kind of then falls back into that. And then I can kind of just keep it creative.
Yeah, no, blatantly. I mean, I'm definitely a raver as much as I'm a DJ. Most people that know will probably know that as well. I like to enjoy myself. I like to party, but I also like to go out. Like if I'm seeing a lineup and I'm like, you know what? If there's someone that you've been looking at that you might want to book, and obviously they're on this lineup, certain times I'll blatantly go just to hear, you need to. I'm a DJ, but I've kind of been in promotion for a while, and more so the last few years. So yeah, you need to go out and you need to hear, if you want to book certain people, if you haven't heard them play, yeah, you might have heard their mixes or whatever, but there's a lot of things that you can do on the computer. So obviously you want to hear them live. You want to hear how they DJ. You want to see how they can control a crowd. I think that's important. And as a DJ and a promoter, I think it's important to go out to to see other DJs, see other crowds, see what's working, see other MCs. Like it's all research. You can't just kind of be in your own bubble. because that's just not going to work for the longevity. You definitely need to go out. You need to be seen. You need to network. Yeah, you need to research. Go and enjoy yourself as much as DJing. Obviously, as a DJ, there's probably you probably have to be a bit more aware, of who's around, maybe, or your surroundings. But at the same time, you're still human. So everyone needs to kind of go out and enjoy themselves. Yeah. Have I come to everyone? Did I come to Roach?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I definitely agree. I think it's important. I think on my side, I'm a bit sad in a way because throughout my 20s, I raved so much. I was out every weekend. But obviously now, I work, I'm a full-time doctor. So the time that I get to DJ is when I'm not in the hospital, and therefore I don't have as much time to go out. So what I actually had a question, would people then hold that against you if you're not out raving all the time? Do people see, she's not supporting the scene, we're not going to book them? Or is it, okay, they're good DJ, we'll get them. So yeah, I kind of wanted to put that out there because I would love to be out and supporting people as much as I can. And I still love music. I still love raving, but it's just a time thing and obviously responsibilities. So yeah,
I feel like, to be honest, I feel like with women, especially, especially if you have children, but I feel like there's probably a lot more women. I mean, I don't know, but I feel like I know more women that are more in full-time jobs or have kids and DJing. And with the men, I feel like there's the more that I know that are kind of like more full-time DJs. So I feel like, we kind of have to balance a lot certain times, and certain times, the DJ section might come after our certain responsibilities. So, like you said,
as well. Certain people are surprised you actually have a job or you actually have a this. I think yeah, some people are surprised by that. That we're juggling so much and they're still at a fit, they're still supporting, you're still at a rave, you still hold your craft, and you're back at work or you haven't even had shut eye and you're doing what you're doing as a full-time person. So again, that's another aspect that people, I believe, should respect. So if they said no, I can't come, it's not an offensive thing. Sometimes, or 9 out of 10, there's a reason behind it. So, and if it is that day you do want to step out, like DJ Roach and Dr. Roach, and she wants to step out and actually have a fit. Sometimes you might not want to get called out on the mic. Sometimes you just might want to be in the corner by herself. Because you get that a lot as well. As soon as you walk into the room, yo, what on?
Yeah.
Again, I want to hide in my corner.
I think the best advice that if anyone could give you is to just, still put out the mixes, still be available, as in put your name out there if you want to DJ at a certain event. Make yourself approachable in different ways. It doesn't have to be a face-to-face, because this internet or World Wide Web is very good. Everyone's using it quite well. So long as you stay relevant, as in, you're up, you put out a mix. Maybe it doesn't have to be a long mix neither. Half an hour, but it's a banging mix and whatever, because there's live mixes out there as well. There's audios that you can actually do a live mix. It's not necessarily that you're having to manipulate and this and that. There's a lot of DJs now that are actually going to an event, doing a live mix and uploading it so they can hear the full craft, raw craft. Doing your own lives, doing your own Twitches. I mean, there are other ways of you not having to step out at God knows forsaken hours for you to promote yourselves. And then just communication. Speak to them, email them, post whenever you can. There's other elements that people still do look on, because if like we had spoke about in our last session, if you're always on someone's post, they're gonna end up clicking on your page because they're thinking, what are you posting so much about? So,
yeah. Oh, you finished?
Sorry,
That was
yeah, I don't want to take it too long. So yeah, that's kind of help.
okay, cool.
Trying to
No,
help Dr. Roach in a way, hopefully.
cool. Hypno says Dimps and Laws are the sickest female DJs right now. Nice. Black Star, very good point, Hyper. Digger, there's a difference between UK and US DJs. They have a bigger pool to be able to do DJing full time. Yes, very true. Triple M, he said a comment before earlier about when you make a mistake or do a whatever a bad mix in your set, it's how you follow it up, how you mask it, how you follow through after that, which is a very valid point, because there'll be certain people where they can just cover it up. You might even be talking on the mic, or there's certain tricks that you can do. To be honest, I think with that one, it's definitely about practice makes perfect. It's all about knowing your tunes, knowing your decks, what you're playing on, knowing your software. I think did I come to everyone? Remy, did I come to you on that one?
No, but
Oh,
I was just gonna add
yeah.
what DTTP said was very true about putting mixes out there. The World Wide Web is out there for everyone to use, etc. But more time, it's not what you can do, it's who you know. And there's people. I mean, everybody was a rubbish DJ at one point. Let's be honest. We all had a dream. It was like, yeah, gonna learn how to mix. I mean, I was rubbish. I was like, Jesus Christ, I had to really practice. And obviously, the more I practiced, the more I got better at it. Obviously, I'm not saying that every day you have to practice, because if you don't, obviously, you'll get rubbish. But it's more of who you know sometimes. That person that will be like, oh, you know what? I'm a promoter. I'm going to put you on my fit regardless. You can play crap for an hour every week. You're still going to be, your name's still going to be on that fit. Whereas you might get some Joe that's been in the game for years, can mix, can scratch everything. And they'll be like, nah, I'm not going to put him on my fit. Yeah, I'd rather keep you on there. And all of that, sometimes it can be demoralizing for a DJ, knowing that, okay, I'm not as good as I can be, but yet you still put me on the fit. Thank you for giving me an opportunity, but sometimes it's not what you can do, is who you know. And sometimes it should be, it's not who you know, but what you can do, if that makes sense.
No, definitely. Of course. I think, to be honest, that kind of element will probably always be there, because especially if you're like a new-ish promoter, you're always gonna draw for the person that is going to be able to help out as well. So that might be your brethren that is not the best, but you know what, they're there. So I think that element will always be there. But yeah, I think definitely promoters just certain times, obviously certain times you've got your lineup and it works, so you're not going to change it. But if you feel like you need a change it up. Go out there, listen to other DJs. Don't just not go because you're not getting a comp. Like certain times,
100%.
just buy a ticket and go, because there'll be certain DJs, new DJs that might be ripping it up, and they might be good for your event. So obviously you need to go out, see them, see the crowd, see what's working, and as well as DJs, keep yourself on your toes. Blatantly go out, check out other DJs. I've got certain things that are lined up that I want to go to just because I haven't seen a DJ play before, or you're interested. So that I always say you need to go out as much as you're promoting. People need to kind of see you. People need to kind of know a bit more about you. Whenever there's new promotions that come up, people are like, oh, who's doing that event? You're always going to get people, oh, who's doing that? Who's promoting that? Who's playing that? People want to know. So Yeah. So okay, you know what? We're wrapping up. We're wrapping up. So the lot, like, so obviously myself, DJ Remy D, and Double Twin Productions were on last time. So if anything, I'm gonna come to us last. But the first session, we kind of went around, and there's probably there's probably some pet peeves that some of us have as being a DJ. So before I go there, Triple M is saying, keep that up there. Now, Triple M, I see it from both sides as a DJ and a promoter. You tend to put DJs you are in direct circle with or are exposed to your eyes. You need to market yourself and be out there as much as possible, which is, yeah, it's very true. You will obviously book people that you are in contact with, but you definitely need to, yeah, be out there and see what's going on. So yeah, as a DJ, I'm pretty sure some of us all have pet peeves, whether it's just being a DJ or specifically being a female DJ. So I'm gonna come to Dr. Roach first. If you got a couple, just give me a couple.
I think
Yeah, could be any kind of pet peeves being a DJ or a female DJ.
So I think one thing that has happened like previously that has a couple of times that has really annoyed me is the DJ before me being late for their set, and then I've arrived on time to start my set, and they're like, oh no, I've still got another half an hour or another 20 minutes or something like that. And I'm like, but your set time is 4 to 5. Like, you came at 4:30, that's on you. And like, I've been to sets where I've been late, and I'm like, fair enough, I'm late, I'll do a shorter set.
Yeah.
But they want to continue to do their full hour set even though they're late.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it is just a female thing. Like, I don't know if it was a man that was coming on after them, would they get off? But I've definitely had that a couple of times where I've had to.
So it's always been a male.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had that as well, and it's never been a female. It's always been a male. They've always wanted to carry on their set, even though they came late. They don't want to get off.
Yeah, I think it's a bit disrespectful as well. Like, it's not my.
Of course it is.
So you need to step aside. And I think the other thing as well is like people. I think probably a lot of people have experienced it, but not wanting to pay you and being like, oh yeah, it's for the exposure. We'll put you on that for the exposure. That yeah. So I'd say those two are my pet peeves.
I blatantly feel you on that one. I've had other DJs come late and they want to finish off their set, and would they be doing that if it was another male DJ, or is it because you're just is it because you're female? Is it because you're just new? But really and truly, it is a disrespect. You come late, so if you've only got 40 minutes left, you should be coming off at the same time. We got to keep to a schedule here. So, yeah. Dimps, I'm going to come to you next. Any pet peeves going on?
Yeah. Pet peeves.
So before you said, Digga D says, plug out the USB cable.
No, seriously, that's what I'll be on. I'll just start setting up. I'll set up right next to you and be like, last one, yeah? Good. And then just, yeah. But pet peeves, why can't I think of any? I feel like I had loads in my head a minute ago. I think I tried to leave it at the night so it doesn't stress me out. But, Laws, help me, please. I can't think of any.
I think when people actually say when we finish that, oh, you guys can actually DJ. It's like, bro, I don't understand. Like, that is a real pet peeve, because that's the whole reason why our name's on the flyer while we're here. It's just the trial. April Fools. Hey, no, like, it's proper jarring. It's really, really.
I got a pet peeve. I got a pet peeve. When promoters think, yeah, the success of their event affects our payment. Like,
Yeah.
Wait, say that again.
Change, bro.
Say that again.
When promoters think the outcome of the event, so they might try to say, oh, you know, it's a quiet night, so I'm going to pay you. Do you mind if I pay you, say, I don't know, £50 less? No, like, that's not my problem. At the end of the day, our job is to entertain the crowd. Your job is to bring the crowd. That's a pet peeve for me.
Yeah, I to be honest, I feel like I feel like that happens a lot on the soca scene. Obviously, I don't know. Clearly, it happens. Clearly, it happens. Others as well. I feel like it does happen a lot on the soca scene. Probably mainly because I don't know, but I guess if you're gonna put on an event, you know, you should. If that's going to be the case, if it's going to be a quiet night or whatever, or you think it's going to be a quiet night, maybe give them a heads up in the beginning or before, let them know what the deal is until don't just wait till the end of the night. Or if you think that it could be a bit iffy, then you just need to make sure that you have the funds, even though
it's an assumption. Communication is fine, but don't just assume that we're willing to take an L with you.
Yeah, definitely. Communication is key. I mean, like, if certain things don't work out, if you got that communication there, it can go a long way.
Yeah.
Certain people, they kind of, they like to assume, or communication is definitely key. Yeah. Is that it? No more?
I can't think of anymore. I might come back.
All right, cool. Double Trouble Twin Productions.
I think my pet peeve is like when you speak to DJs or you're in a room or you're in an event, and like there's always a cluster where they somehow, even if you're sitting by yourself, there'll be like a group in the end somehow, some way, and then everyone's talking and whatever, and you can hear the experienced DJs from the not experienced DJs. And then some people are just talking absolute nonsense. And then when they go out to play, everything they try to contribute, so I wouldn't say really make a factor, they've done exactly the same thing, like comment. And I'm just like, I don't understand. I can't relate. And it's not even that a disrespectful thing. It's just that I can't, because you've just jumped on, you've just bought decks, you heard and you said, oh, I want to jump on this, and you haven't, you've got bookings, but then you have nothing to say. To me, it's like, it's quite, degrading for other people that are genuinely trying to do their craft, that is trying to put in the work. But, you feel like because you've had 1-2 bookings, you can now, or even if you had one international booking, you can now, talk under or degrade other DJs that are doing things maybe in a different way, but to you, it's undermining. I don't think that's something that we should do. I think we should be like a community in whatever field, whatever area you are, and actually bring up people instead of criticizing or even going behind people's back and taking other bookings, stuff like that. I don't think that should run, to be honest with you, because it just it doesn't make. And I've seen it, I've heard it, and I'm just like, Ross, that's really what's happening, kind of thing. So from an MC point of view, not what Based on Low London said, but the way you, as an MC, also I go up, try to take the mic, and everyone's kind of some might MCs as a male might look at you, or they might not. If I talk like this, and when I MC, as some people have heard, this is probably this is the voice I probably don't use the most. Sometimes, as we discussed before, sometimes I might change up the voice. So, I come from Jamaica and St. Lucia, so I don't speak Creole, nothing like that. But, I can put on a little accent. If garage, I put on this, I put on that. It might not be aggressive, it might not be, loud, but I can change it up. So you can respect a DJ's craft, you should also respect an MC's craft, because I believe it's slightly harder to stand in front, and I don't stand behind the DJ decks. I'm always in front. So we always say that we've got our own stages, as Hype and the rest of some of us that I've seen it might know. So we've always got different stages. That's how we work. So again, as well as the DJs doing their craft, as an MC, you have to do yours as well.
So I think you should respect both, and understand what work is putting in. And again, just like Dibs and Law said, make sure the payment's there. You can't say, oh yeah, I paid your DJ. If you pay, obviously, if it's one payment, that's cool. But then don't be trying to half it or divide it by or trying to do the maths. Don't do that. Respect is, that's it. Respect is the main thing.
Yeah, no, totally. Wait, there's a lot of pet peeves that we could probably talk about. But no, London. Yeah, I mean you're quite new, but I mean, have you had any?
Because I'm quite new, it's hard to have pet peeves right now. I think I came into this expecting a lot of like adversity and negativity and everything that comes with being a female going into a male dominated workplace. Do you know what I mean? Any type of workplace, you're always going to have that, oh God, what's it going to be like? I don't think it's been as bad as I thought. I think I overplayed it in my head. I thought, oh God, how are people going to take to me? What's going to happen? It's actually been okay. I mean, I don't know what people say behind my back, but to be fair, I don't really care. I'm one of those people that are just like, if it don't affect my life, I don't care. So I've not had too many problems yet. And even if, to be fair, even if I did, I'm kind of just like, you know what? Men are always going to be threatened by women. Coming into a male dominated place, you see a woman, you're going to be threatened because I feel like women have something different to offer. And men sometimes think, oh God, we don't have that. So it's obvious. And I expected it. So if anything does happen, and little things have happened along the way, a little few comments or, like a bit of bad energy, and it's like, where did that come from? I don't really know you like that. I'm kind of like, it was almost expected. So it is what it is. And as Double Trouble said, female MCs, like, it's the hardest thing to do because we're so used to hearing like that aggressive male on the mic. To be a female, with me especially, I'm really struggling on the mic. That's something I really need to practice because it's hard. It's very, very hard. So yeah, for a female to get on the mic and do her thing, it's like props to you because it's not easy at all.
Yeah, well, when I started, I had no thoughts about being on the mic. I just wanted to play music, and it was later on, when I was doing my weekly residency at Release the Rhythm. We had like basically one main mic guy, Mr. Hardwine, and he was like, oh, he wants to break certain times, so he wants, can I go on the mic and whatever. And I was just like, I don't want to. And I understood, like, obviously he wants a break. I understand that, but I don't want to go on the mic, and I hated it. And I tried a couple of times, and it was hard. It was like, because it's not your natural thing. It's like, what do you say? Like, when do you turn the music down? Like, there was a lot of stuff, but and if you're not used to hearing your own voice, then that's a whole nother thing as well, because you never like the sound of your voice recorded or on the mic. So it literally is a case of practice or just doing it more often so you can actually get used to the sound of your own voice. And because I never had any set, like I didn't have my own set when I started DJing. I didn't have my own set. I started in 2007 and I didn't have my own stuff in my house until like 2016, I think it was. So I didn't have, and when you got like strict parents and you don't want to like ask them stuff, I weren't trying to go out anywhere and practice. I went to like my friends a couple of times, but like I didn't want to go on the mic. So to be honest, it was only the last few years where I was playing at Tracks and Records, and it was just me and DJ Bliss. Sometimes he wasn't there, so I had to mic because it can't just be silent. And so that basically kind of forced me. And then, you know, you kind of realize once you're doing it, you're like, you know what, this is actually not that bad. You know, you say a few things, you get a bit of crowd reaction. And yeah, certain times you literally just need to throw yourself into it. And then, you know, being in lockdown, doing how many Zooms, literally you hear the sound of your own voice a lot. And so, you know, you kind of get used to it. And then people get used to the sound of your voice, because I feel like obviously there's not a lot of women that are on the mic. So when you go out and you pick up the mic, people are like, what? And they're like looking at like, what voice is that? Who's that? And you know, you're probably going to get loads of stares, and that might obviously yeah, kind of put you off a little bit. Or but if you know, you know the sound of your own voice, if you again doing certain things online or whatever, people are getting used to your voice. So I feel like it is a case of people, the ravers, being used to something, because people, you know, they don't always like different stuff. So once they get used to something, then it's like, oh, okay, it's cool. It's like, whatever. All right, this person's on the mic. Okay, cool, all good. So yeah, that's kind of like, yeah, something to do with the mic. Nye, do you want to say anything? I like how you're drinking with me, because I see how nobody else has got a little drink. So yeah.
Pet peeves. Well, I'm definitely not gonna have none, am I? As a DJ, because I'm not a DJ. But what have I heard? Pet peeves wise. I can't really think of any at the moment. I think it's kind of being covered. I think obviously the respect thing is a big deal, just because obviously we are women, and you know, it's in a male dominated industry. It's just, yeah, making sure you command your space, ladies. You know, obviously I've heard stories where female DJs, you know, they might be I don't know, struggling with equipment, so to speak, and sometimes they don't get the help or assistance that they need from their fellow, like another male DJ. They're just kind of like left to kind of get on with it and struggle. So I've heard stories like that. And then there was the example that someone mentioned earlier about the set time, the previous DJ going overrun and things like that. Yeah. So I think just be a lot more assertive where necessary. Command your space, ladies. Command your presence. Make sure that, you know, you don't get a raw deal, basically. I think my only pet peeve would be the tokenism in the scene. As I said, if as a promoter you are going to book a female DJ, why does it have to be one, and why does it always have to be at the beginning when no one's there or very few people are there? I think that's probably about my only pet peeve. I would like to see, you know, a change in terms of that, but that's about it, really.
Cool.
That's my view. That's my 2 pence.
Cool. Did I come to everyone on the pet peeves?
I like what Triple M has just said. We need more mic men and women in the Caribbean scene. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, it's true.
There's hardly any MPs, both male and female.
Yeah, I feel like in the other, you know, other scenes, you know, Dimps and Laws, I'm pretty sure there's probably loads of people that are on the mic at events that you attend. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel that yeah, but I feel like, yeah, on our scene there definitely isn't enough, which I'm quite surprised about, considering Caribbean
Are you
people.
talking about female hosts on our scene?
Actually, well, I would say male and female, but I'm
Um,
assuming there probably is still more male.
yeah, predominantly male.
Do you know other females? Other female MCs?
I think Carmen gets on the mic sometimes, doesn't she?
Not specific MCs, but there's a few female DJs that will DJ and MC.
And Shay, is it Shay? Shay London. She's yeah.
Fiona Hall sometimes will host herself. There's a few that will, but I don't know any female hosts, strictly hosts.
Yeah.
You know any dance? I don't know any that just host or MC.
Yeah.
I think it's quite funny that in Soca anyway, there's like a shortage of male and female MCs, but there's so many DJs that have turned to either production or tend to being a promoter. But yeah, there's a niche market for room for MCs. Like when you really think about it, how many do we have? If you really thought long and hard about it, Hyper, how many MCs do we have in Soca?
Yeah, it's really.
It's like you could count them like with.
Yeah, compared to the amount of DJs.
There's not maybe even one. We talk the most as well, so again, it doesn't really make sense. The most, and there's not much of us that are willing to stand out there and host, especially when DJs, sound equipment cut out or whatever else. Like they said, it's not the easiest thing. So, I done it. I fell into it, I guess, but I'm proud that I still do it. And obviously, it's not just with anyone. I do it with my twin plus others. So yeah, I think there definitely needs to be a few more.
Triple M said there's 4.
That's mad.
Damn.
Okay, so who's the 4? Let's think about it.
So
that's so low.
Yeah, that's kind of mad. So
go on, think of 4 then.
I'd say Stifler, Super Trini, Trini Gladiator from Just Vibes, and so influential, maybe Matches, maybe 5, but yeah, I mean, considering
5 so far.
Caribbean people,
still got Vinny.
Oh yeah, Vinny, yeah. But again, yeah, Vinny, he doesn't come out that often. I mean, basically, there needs to be more.
Cappuccino, but he's both.
Yeah, he's both. So yeah,
but that's 7.
Can I say something though? I think a good MC should be able to do any genre, really and truly. I think personally. So as much as you're saying there's only, you named 7 within the soca industry. Say for example, if you booked, I don't know, so influential, because I've seen him out. I know he could definitely do a dancehall set. He could do an R&B set. He could do whatever. Do you know what I mean? I'm just mentioning him because I've seen him out before. So I think that you're saying there's only a few on the soca scene, maybe branching out. You could definitely find, if you was doing a soca event, for example, a good MC should be able to.
Yeah, to then say that MC is a multi-genre MC, if that's even such a thing, if we want to title it.
Yeah, to be honest,
looking at 7 down is going to be like now 2 or 3, to be truthfully honest.
I guess because we see them more on the soca scene. However, there will be events where we'll play soca and other music, and yes, they will host on other genres. So yeah, they can easily host
some of them are not
as well.
You can tell what they're comfortable with and what they've been crafting in, and some people are, like I said, obviously we're all working together on multi-genre sound. You naturally start to pick up, as I said, when you kind of change up your voice. I don't know if Dibs and Laws does it. I don't know them properly, to be truthfully honest, but I don't know if people change up their voice or not. I don't know, because we had that conversation last time as well. If you're in the Caribbean and you try to sound like a Bayesian, you try and sound like you're in the UK when you're talking garage, you try and sound like a Jamaican. I don't know, but I know some people are not always comfortable when they switch up the genre quickly or something happens and they're looking like to jump on the mic and MC. So it'd be interesting to see out of these 7 or 6 or however you name it now we've rattled down to.
Dimps and Laws, like, do you both like mic for each other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it helps because like we've known each other for so long, we've got a natural vibe anyway. So we bounce into each other. So even certain situations, like if anything happens, we can read each other and we know how to host for each other. That's a pet peeve. Hold on, I got a pet peeve.
Mhm.
When a male host will come over and try host, but we're hosting our own set.
Good.
That's happened a few times.
What,
it's
they
like they feel like we can't manage, so then they feel like, oh yeah, I'm gonna come host, but it's like that's not our brand. That's not what we do. So
What, do they just take the mic from you, or
so it would be like, say for example, so not necessarily take the mic. Like what happened the other day? What
they're
happened
trying
at
to
my
edge their way in? Like,
what happened at my thing? He just jumped to. So I was setting up on the decks, and then I think he took the mic from the previous host while Laws was doing something. I think he was distracted. But yeah, that happened. But
It's just ultimately we're just like, oh, I'm good, thank you, or whoever's if I'm DJing, Dips will just grab the mic, or vice versa, because ultimately there's two of us. So if we need help, we said, you know what, do you mind hosting? Then it's different, but don't assume, because you wouldn't do that to another sound or another set of guys. If you saw 3 guys behind a DJ booth, hands down, you're not coming over and grabbing the mic. Like that is not happening. So don't take advantage just because you see two females there. 100%. I forgot about that one, Dimps.
Yeah, sorry. What was
true.
the original question? I did answer it, didn't I?
Yeah. No, it was the pet peeves. We got into the pet peeves. Yeah. I think we got around to everyone, right? With the pet peeves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, I think that has been a nice conversation. I think we're done. It's like, yeah, it's a bit overtime. So we need to go.
No, you didn't do so bad, Hyper. You did all right. You did good, girl.
So you know what? Just to literally actually, before we round off, Colin, he must have messaged to say he wants to know where we can catch the ladies playing. And somebody else also messaged to say, when is this DJ lineup happening? Because on the panel right now, it's a fire lineup. So I don't know. There might have to be a Carnival Slayers stroke Spice Up Your Life event.
Listen. I'm having too many of these suggestions already. No. Not me. That's you, Hyper. That's you. I'm doing enough already.
Cool. Don't worry, man. It's coming. It's coming.
I'll come to the event.
Nah, that's cool. It's coming, man. So you know what? Literally, we'll go around, just literally round off the evening. If there's a couple of things you want to say just with regards to the convo, or just let people know where they can catch you if your name is not your Insta name or your Facebook name. So we'll start with Remedy.
Well, I'm on TikTok as DJ Remedy. I'm also on. Sorry.
Oh, we've lost you.
Also as
yeah.
Hello.
So
sorry, my AirPod fell out. Sorry, I'm on TikTok as DJ Remedy. I'm also on Instagram as DJ Remedy. I'm also on Instagram as Remstar6, and I am now looking to explore online mixes. So yeah, keep it. It'll be on all of my socials anyway. Facebook, Remstar Davis, and yeah.
Cool. Dr. Roach.
Sorry. I'm on Insta only, really, as Dr_Roach_DJ. And events wise, I'm playing at Amasotra this weekend, and then Retro Soca on the 30th of April, and Strawberries and Cream and Carnival with UCOM are kind of the main ones so far. But yeah, keep an eye on my Insta page and I'll post everything on there.
Cool. Low London.
You catch me on Instagram, Low London Official. TikTok's Low London XO, but it's kind of slacking at the moment, so just Instagram for now. Next set is Friday, Mixed Masters in Catford at Silks. And Spring Jam, end of the month, Nubian next month, I think. It's all on my yeah, I've got a post of like my spring summer lineup, so you can take a look at that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's all there.
Cool. Dimps?
Yeah, so follow us at Dimps and Laws on Insta, Facebook. I think that's what we have. Yeah. Insta and Facebook. Yeah, bookings. Yeah, there's always something going on. Just follow the Insta and come along. Obviously, our event, Shot O'Clock, that's a separate page. Feel free to follow that too. Feel free to share that too.
Why the name Shot O'Clock? Where did that come from?
Started off, so what's that? Did anyone start off in lockdown? Did it start off in lockdown?
Lockdown,
Yeah. So it started off in lockdown. We was bored, obviously, going from that being out every weekend to doing nothing. And then we had an outside event just for free. We was like, just want to get everyone together. And the name, we've always been like, when we go out, we just tend to get people. Yeah, we tend to get people.
Say out there, slightly.
Shot. So we was like, oh, Shot O'Clock. And then, yeah, so we started with an outdoor event. Then we had a brunch, which was shots every half an hour. And then, yeah, then the name's just kind of taken off from there. So now we do clubs and we're going to do some more brunches in summer. We got my birthday one coming up on Friday. That's a 90s theme. But yeah, if you follow it, just stay up to date with what's going on.
So how do you guys like play your set when you're having shots every half an hour?
Lit. Yeah. Listen, that's where the creativity comes up because we'll look at each other. I'll be like, should I mix that with that? She's like, yeah. And then we just do it.
All right. So the shot, is there any like type of shot that you like have, or is it all different shots?
Oh, so for our events, because obviously it's a business and it's costs. It's sours. No, sours.
Oh, sour. All right, yeah.
But to be fair, as well, as much as it's like everyone turn up, health and safety. Some people can't handle their drinks. So I'm not trying to give you race shots and in an hour you're starting fights. It's long.
Yeah, no.
So apple sours, weans you in, but you still haven't done that.
Cool. All right, I like it. Laws, did you want to add anything to?
No, I think Dimps. Just Dimps and Laws is Dimps and then an N, not and then Laws on Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, we're not on the TikTok yet. I feel like
I mean, I'm so not on the TikTok.
I don't know if we missed the boat, Dimps, but maybe we need to get TikTok.
Maybe we need to get rid of Facebook and get TikTok, or maybe we're showing our age.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm so not on the TikTok either.
I'm gonna ask my daughter to set up because I
can't. Double Trouble, Twin Productions.
So the reason why we put it down as the acronym DTTP is because it was obviously long to say Double Trouble Twin Production.
Took some people a while.
Yeah, so that is what it does stand for anyone that doesn't know again or anyone that's jumped on late. But you can find us at d.t.t.p on Facebook, Instagram. I've got.
Do you ever get your name mixed up, like when you've had a few drinks? Like, do you ever?
I think because now it's like our name, you kind of it just rolls off the tongue. But we've heard it in different versions of DTTP, DTTP, whatever, and then they lose it. Double trouble TP duction, or I don't know. It's something that at the end of the day, the more that we put out, the more people can just roll it off. And sometimes worse, so we're like, raw, you good? Yeah. They're like, yeah, I've got you. So it's more like how we kind of rounded off what we were saying, as in the more you're out there, the more people get to know you, the more that they, educate themselves on your brand. So but obviously myself one is _20_. So but I always draw it back to d.t.t.p. So
so Double Trouble Twin Production, as Twin said, we are twins. And follow us on Instagram for all our latest bookings. We've got a few international stuffs coming out as well. So yeah, keep following the page, keep following the sound, and keep following the movement.
Cool.
Sorry, what's your individual name?
So I'm DJ Twin T,
20.
and I go by the name of Twin. I was gonna change it. Well, obviously I jumped on the scene late,
Yeah.
and every time I was gonna call myself something different, everyone's like, "Yo, Twin," and then when we both turn around, they're like, "No," because I used to be classed as a dancer twin, and then in the MC twin, and she used to be classed as a DJ twin. They kind of switched over to the MC twin and the dancer twin. She was still left, DJ. So my legs and body were working, and twin had the easy straw. But again, we both bust a dance. We both known for doing that as well. So yeah.
I mean,
Active.
It's even if you call us twin, one of us will turn around. Depending on the topic, you'll get an answer from the respective person. So don't be afraid if you see and just shout out twins.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
It's fine.
That's not a problem.
There's no offense. We're easy going, as you can see. We're all good.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, girls, it's been great. It's been great. Triple M just said liquid confidence is the one. I'm not sure. Liquid confidence. I don't know if you want to quickly elaborate. I don't know before we go. But I mean, I know
some people rely on the liquor to have their confidence.
Oh,
I know I've gone on the MC thing. I know I've gone on the dancing road. I know I've jumped on the MC thing quickly. The one that said some people obviously sometimes were late. Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah,
being a Trini, I think that's what it is. So, yeah, I know we've come in. I had no liquor in my system, nothing, and we just run it. So some people need a little boost, and some people don't. But yeah, it can help.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely needed a boost. There's been sometimes a little bit of liquid confidence. It's all good, right? It's all good. So I'm with you on that one, Triple M. Cool. All right. Nai, do you want to say any last few words?
Other than thank you to everyone that's tuned in. It was really insightful, and it was a really good conversation. And big up to you ladies for what you do. Keep paving the way, keep at it. And it's good to see that a lot of you are on some big lineups, like big events. I know you've mentioned Strawberries and Cream. Ivy, you've got a couple of big ones this year.
Yeah, I'm playing at my next event is Skinny Fabulous at Tudor Rose on the 7th Easter Sunday. And then next month I will be at Ibiza Soca Festival.
That's a very big one.
Yeah. And then June I'll be at Radiate Festival in Burgess Park.
Yeah.
And then obviously Carnival in August.
Yeah, it's a lot of big ones there. So it's really good to see. And obviously Dr. Roach, I saw the other day you was at Olympia, London. Yeah, you were holding that crowd together. I see you. So yeah, big up to everyone, man. You guys are doing great. And it's quite interesting. I was having a conversation with someone earlier where it was actually noticed that a lot of the big bookings that some of you ladies are getting is outside of Soca. What's going on? People outside are like embracing you ladies. So it's like, okay. That's actually quite interesting to see that. But yeah, big up. Big up to the promoters as well that are booking you ladies and giving you guys that opportunity and platform.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, there are a lot more promotions. I mean, even though obviously certain times it might be the one female, there are still a lot of promotions that will do it. You got Release a Rhythm, you got Olympia, we got We Won Paradise. There are events, and it's nice. It is nice to see, because back in the day, you never really used to get that. So yeah, definitely.
Stop the tokenism, please. Stop the tokenism.
Yeah, more than one. More than one. More than one.
Yeah,
but yeah. Cool. So I've been Hyper Spice. I've been your host, and of course we're probably gonna be back sometime next month. We haven't set a date. But yeah, the hot sauce will be back. Talking about more
Extra hot sauce.
Extra hot sauce.
Yeah,
Yes.
extra hot sauce.
So, thank you, Dimps. Thank you, Laws, DTTP, Low London, Dr. Roach, Remy D, and of course, Nye, Carnival Slayers. Have a good evening, girls. And thank you. Oh, sorry. Thank you to everyone that's been locked on, because you guys have been putting in some real comments. You've been tuned in. So yeah, thank you very much. Black Star, Triple M, Digger D, Annie. There's been a lot of you. Sarone locked on, Tyra locked on. It's been a great conversation, and we're loving the interaction. LOL, liquid courage. Yes. Cool, girls, ladies, listeners, Carnival Slayers. We are gone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.